Let's take a look at a new studying method we call the Integrated Study System. This method uses a technique called study panels, where students section off a part of their work and reserve that space for helpful annotations. Study panels allow for students to create reminders and notes right on their own assignments. They can be used for study tips, future reminders, or any useful information that the student can use. If completing work on notebook paper, students can simply fold the paper into thirds and use the rightmost column as their study panel. If a student is doing a worksheet or some other pre-printed assignment, they can still create a study panel area somewhere on the page, as long as it leaves enough room for neat, organized work. The idea is that by always having the reminders and study tips in plain view, students can complete their homework with tests in mind. This promotes focused and efficient working habits that better prepare students for upcoming tests. Let's take a look to see how it works. To apply this technique, we'll need to ask students to get permission from their teachers, but many students will be willing to write on the side of their assignments instead of making flashcards or doing some other sort of time-intensive study technique. So, let's start with an example. Let's say your student is completing an algebra assignment and routinely has trouble multiplying negative numbers. Maybe they're confused with the concept or simply just don't check their work enough. That student can make a note that says, double check negatives, or maybe they can write down a helpful formula or rule to help them get through the problem. If a student has trouble even beginning a problem, they can make a note of that as well. Maybe make a note to ask the teacher the next day, see if it'll be on the test, or they could look it up in their book and write down the topic on the side of the page. Either way, they'll see it every time they go back and look at their old homeworks. By doing this, students will learn to think ahead and prepare themselves for the future.